Welcome to Daily News Brief, your clear, concise look at today's top headlines. If you find this update helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a story that matters.
In eastern Ukraine, the quiet of frontline medical posts can be shattered in an instant as medics rush to treat incoming wounded soldiers.
One soldier arrived too late to be saved, a consequence of the increasing difficulty of medical evacuations in the current war.
The anesthesiologist, Darinana Boyko, explained that the extended evacuation time led to the soldier's death.
She emphasized that this is not an isolated incident, but represents a broader trend.
The use of first-person view, or FPV, drones has significantly increased the danger for both wounded soldiers and evacuation crews.
These drones allow operators to see the target before striking, turning areas up to 12 miles from the front line into kill zones.
In the early stages of the war, evacuation vehicles could reach much closer to the front, improving survival chances for the wounded.
Now, the widespread use of FPV drones has made even reaching the wounded a perilous task.
Medics report that they have not treated gunshot wounds for months, with most injuries now stemming from FPV drone attacks.
These drones are feared for their precision and the way they complicate evacuations, reducing survival rates.
The commander of the 59th Brigade Medical Unit, callsign Buchor, confirmed the increasing difficulty of moving the wounded.
He explained that the use of FPV drones has necessitated changes in operation, mobility, and safety levels.
Buchor acknowledged that these conditions have significantly increased mortality among the wounded.
The munitions carried by these drones are highly destructive, often derived from rocket-propelled grenades.
These munitions can inflict a range of injuries, from minor cuts to severe wounds and amputations.
Self-aid and self-evacuation are now emphasized in training due to these dangers.
A hiker in Tennessee tragically died after being bitten by a venomous snake at Savage Gulf State Park.
Officials believe the hiker made a fatal mistake by picking up the reptile, likely a timber rattlesnake.
First responders arrived at the scene around 12:30 p.m. last Friday, finding the man only half a mile down a trailhead.
Despite rescue workers administering life-saving efforts, the man was transported to a local hospital where he later died from his injuries.
Timber rattlesnakes are a highly venomous species found in the eastern United States.
Witnesses reported seeing the hiker pick up the snake, resulting in a bite to his hand.
While the full cause of death is yet to be released, it is believed to be related to an allergic reaction.
It remains unclear why the hiker decided to handle the snake.
The Grundy County Emergency Management Agency offered condolences to the hiker's family.
They also strongly recommend carrying first aid supplies and being aware of potential wildlife dangers during outdoor activities.
The agency urged anyone encountering a snake to remain calm and avoid handling it.
Timber rattlesnakes are considered the largest and most dangerous of the 4 venomous snakes in Tennessee.
They can grow up to 5 feet long and have a distinctive triangular head, vertical pupils, and a rattle on their tail.
However, rattlesnake bites are rarely fatal, with less than 1 in 600 resulting in death.
Bites from timber rattlesnakes are uncommon, as they are considered more docile than other rattlesnake species.
These snakes primarily prey on small rodents and often remain still when encountered in the wild.
Italian fig farmers are facing a difficult year due to unexpected weather conditions impacting their harvests.
Sudden frosts and heavy rains have significantly reduced fig production in the Apulia region, a key area for this fruit.
Some farmers have reported losses of up to 70% for their spring fig crops.
Francesco Palaciano, a farmer, described the situation as a significant fruit drop before harvest.
He initially expected a promising year, but a sudden frost damaged the developing figs.
Another farmer, Michelangelo De Chirico, estimated a 50% drop in production.
He attributed this to rising global temperatures and premature fruit dropping.
Heavy rains and hails have also compromised the quality of early figs, making export difficult.
This fig crisis highlights the vulnerability of farmers to changing weather patterns.
It also demonstrates how climate change and extreme weather are impacting food production globally.
Palaciano emphasized that climate change is the real problem, stating that fig trees are struggling to adapt.
He warned that if these conditions persist, farmers may be forced to cultivate different crops.
Rising global temperatures are exacerbating extreme weather events, disrupting traditional growing seasons.
Unseasonal frosts, heat waves, and excessive rainfall all damage crops and reduce yields.
This impacts farmers' incomes and can lead to shortages and price increases for consumers.
This regional crisis has the potential to create ripple effects throughout the global food system.
Fox News correspondent Jacqui Heinrich witnessed Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin ignore reporters' questions after their summit.
Heinrich expressed surprise at the president's silence following the meeting.
She is Fox News senior White House correspondent and has been a target of Trump in the past.
Heinrich spoke with anchor Brian Kilmeade about the summit's conclusion.
Kilmeade also expressed surprise that the usually talkative Trump did not take questions.
Kilmeade noted his surprise at the lack of questions after the meeting.
Trump and Putin were vague about the accomplishments of the Alaska meeting.
The meeting began with Trump clapping and rolling out the red carpet for the Russian leader.
Putin is accused of war crimes.
Kilmeade also stated his surprise at the lack of details regarding the progress made at the meeting.
The summit took place on a Friday.
Heinrich said everyone in the room was surprised the president walked away without taking questions.
The meeting was held in Alaska.
Heinrich observed the interaction between Trump and Putin.
The reporters present were expecting questions after the summit.
Trump and Putin offered little information about the substance of their meeting.
Ulta Beauty and Target will be ending their in-store partnership in 2026.
This means the approximately 600 mini Ulta Beauty stores located within Target stores will close.
The current agreement between the two companies expires in August 2026 and will not be renewed.
While the joint press release confirmed the closure, neither company provided a specific reason for the split.
Until the closure, customers with linked rewards accounts can continue earning Ulta Beauty rewards on eligible purchases.
These mini Ulta shops occupy around 1,000 square feet within Target stores.
They offer a selection of makeup, skincare products, and fragrances, situated alongside Target's existing beauty sections.
The partnership was initially formed in 2020 and launched in 2021.
This coincided with the coronavirus pandemic, which significantly impacted shopping patterns.
The initial goal was to expand the customer base for both companies through this collaboration.
Target currently operates around 980 stores nationwide, with Ulta Beauty present in roughly 600 of them.
Although Target's overall merchandise sales experienced a slight decline, their beauty segment sales saw a 5% increase in 2024.
However, Target's overall profits have remained relatively stagnant in recent years.
The company has also faced challenges, including customer boycotts and economic uncertainties.
A nature photographer recently made a surprising discovery while reviewing footage from his trail camera.
While the brown bear is currently listed as least concern on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List, it was once considered extinct in Lithuania.
This large animal has made a few appearances in recent years, suggesting a return to the local ecosystem.
A notable sighting occurred in the Salsininkai district of Lithuania in April.
Wildlife enthusiast and photographer Marek Kislovskij captured a brown bear on his trail camera.
Kislovskij expressed his initial disbelief upon reviewing the footage.
He was unaware of any previous brown bear encounters in the Salsininkai district.
He described feeling both thrilled and slightly uneasy about the bear's presence.
Trail cameras are a valuable tool for monitoring wildlife without human interference.
They are particularly useful for documenting rarely seen species like the brown bear.
Although Lithuania has been considered a non-bear country, bears once thrived in several European nations.
Habitat loss and overhunting contributed to their decline.
The recent sighting of a brown bear could indicate a thriving ecosystem.
Brown bears play a vital role in regulating prey populations, seed dispersal, and soil aeration.
While they may seem intimidating, they are generally cautious of humans and avoid interaction.
This sighting followed another recent observation of a bear cub in northwest Lithuania.
Laimonas Dauksa, director of the Lithuanian Hunters and Fishermen Association, highlighted the significance of these sightings.
He believes these sightings mark a new chapter for Lithuanian nature and warrant the inclusion of bears in the country's list of protected species.
New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell was indicted for allegedly hiding a romantic relationship with her bodyguard.
Prosecutors described this as a years-long scheme where the bodyguard was paid even for personal encounters with the mayor.
These encounters allegedly included meetings in apartments and trips to vineyards.
Cantrell faces charges of conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction less than 5 months before leaving office.
She is the first mayor in New Orleans' 300-year history to be charged while in office.
Acting United States Attorney Michael Simpson called this a significant case of public corruption.
Cantrell's bodyguard, Jeffrey Vappy, was already facing charges of wire fraud and making false statements.
He has pleaded not guilty to those charges.
The indictment alleges that Cantrell and Vappy exchanged encrypted messages via WhatsApp.
They are accused of deleting these conversations to avoid detection.
While they claim their relationship was professional, the indictment describes it as personal and intimate.
The city of New Orleans stated it is aware of the indictment and the mayor's attorney is reviewing it.
The indictment cites a WhatsApp exchange where Vappy reminisced about a trip to Scotland with Cantrell.
He allegedly stated that this trip was where it all started.
Simpson said they used WhatsApp for over 15,000 messages, including efforts to harass a citizen and delete evidence.
He added that they also made false statements to Federal Bureau of Investigation agents and committed perjury before a grand jury.
Thomas Noguchi, the coroner who performed Marilyn Monroe's autopsy, has broken his silence after 63 years.
He reveals he never agreed with the suicide ruling and was prevented from investigating a potential murder.
Noguchi, now 98 years old, shared his account with Ann Soon Choi, author of the new book L.A. Coroner, Thomas Noguchi and Death in Hollywood.
The book details how the autopsy was improperly performed, evidence went missing, and the suicide ruling was hasty.
Noguchi questioned why there was no visual evidence of pills in Monroe's stomach or small intestine, despite bottles of sedatives found near her body.
Reports suggest Monroe was pregnant with President Kennedy's child and threatened to reveal her abortion after he ended their relationship.
This gave the Kennedy family a potential motive to silence her, according to sources.
Noguchi requested further testing of Monroe's stomach contents and organs, but head toxicologist Raymond Abernathy disposed of them after the initial report.
Without complete analysis, it was impossible to determine if Monroe died from an injection rather than pills.
Noguchi worried he would be held responsible if the autopsy was deemed inadequate.
He was only 35 and on probation at the time, unusually assigned to such a high-profile case.
The chief coroner, Theodore Curfey, typically handled these cases, raising suspicions for Noguchi.
Choi's book highlights Noguchi's unease and questions about a potential cover-up.
He wondered if Monroe was murdered, and if he was unknowingly involved in concealing the truth.
The circumstances surrounding Monroe's death continue to generate speculation and controversy.
Noguchi's revelations shed new light on the investigation and its potential shortcomings.
Dan Smoker experienced a nightmare when his United Airlines flight to Europe was canceled due to mechanical issues.
He spent over 3 hours on the phone with United, trying to rebook his flight, and eventually connected with an agent named David.
David upgraded Smoker to premium economy, promised a refund for the original ticket, and charged him for the new one.
Smoker received a confirmation email, but it came from a non-United email address, which raised some initial concerns.
Months later, Smoker had not received the promised refund and noticed a $17,000 charge on his credit card under the alias AIRLINEFARE.
Consumer investigator Steve Steger examined the confirmation email and identified several red flags suggesting a potential scam.
Both Smoker and Steger confirmed that Smoker had called United Airlines' official customer service number.
United Airlines' internal call logs showed only a 12-minute call, while Smoker's call log recorded a 3-hour call.
United Airlines confirmed multiple calls from Smoker's number and initiated an internal review.
They could not explain how the call was transferred to a scammer or the discrepancy in call durations.
Smoker filed a fraud report with his credit card provider and is waiting for a resolution.
A United spokeswoman stated they are in contact with Smoker, reviewing the matter, and committed to a fair resolution.
She did not explain how the call could have been redirected.
This case highlights a larger trend of airline scams targeting travelers dealing with flight cancellations.
Organizations like the Better Business Bureau and American Association of Retired Persons have reported on the increasing prevalence of these scams.
Scammers often use fake customer service numbers, manipulate search results, and exploit social media to target travelers.
Experts recommend contacting airlines only through official channels, verifying email domains, and being cautious of unusual payment requests.
Thanks for staying informed. See you in the next episode.
President Trump stated he would not negotiate on behalf of Ukraine in his meeting with President Putin.
He emphasized that it would be Ukraine's decision regarding any territorial exchanges with Russia.
President Trump's objective is to initiate negotiations between Ukraine and Russia.
He believes Ukraine will make the appropriate decision regarding territorial swaps.
The president clarified that his role is not to negotiate for Ukraine, but to facilitate dialogue.
These remarks aim to reassure Ukraine, which is concerned about potential negative consequences from United States and Russia talks.
President Trump suggested that Russia's actions in Ukraine are intended to strengthen President Putin's negotiating position.
He believes, however, that these actions ultimately weaken President Putin's standing.
President Trump anticipates positive outcomes from his meeting with President Putin due to the significant implications.
He also cited the current weakness of the Russian economy as a contributing factor.
The president acknowledged President Putin's experience and intelligence and expressed mutual respect.
He views President Putin's inclusion of business executives in his delegation as a positive sign.
This suggests a desire for business engagement from the Russian side.
However, President Trump made it clear that no business deals will be finalized until the conflict is resolved.
He reiterated that business dealings are contingent upon a resolution to the war.
President Trump believes that this demonstrates a willingness to engage in business activities after the conflict.
He is optimistic about the potential for future business collaborations with Russia.
The president believes that a peaceful resolution is a prerequisite for economic partnerships.
Former President Donald Trump welcomed Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska with a red carpet ceremony.
79-year-old Trump appeared to have difficulty walking straight on the red carpet.
He veered from side to side before reaching the designated meeting point.
Trump then clapped as 72-year-old Putin approached him at Joint Base Elmendorf.
The two leaders shook hands and walked together toward a platform.
A United States Air Force B-2 stealth bomber and F-35 fighter jets flew overhead during the greeting.
On the platform, they posed for photos behind a sign that read, Alaska 2025.
Trump and Putin then entered an all-black Escalade sport utility vehicle.
Trump gestured for Putin to descend the stairs first.
Both men chatted comfortably as they walked to the vehicle.
Inside the United States government sport utility vehicle, Putin smiled and waved to the press.
The summit was considered an important step toward ending the war in Ukraine.
However, the meeting concluded without a ceasefire agreement or details on any achievements.
Trump and Putin last met in 2018 during a summit in Helsinki, Finland.
Some United States officials criticized Trump for hosting Putin on an active military base.
The 2018 Helsinki summit was widely considered a diplomatic failure for Trump.
The Mount Hope Bridge reopened to traffic much earlier than anticipated.
The Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority announced the reopening occurred at 7:30 post-meridiem on Saturday, August 16th.
This was 33 hours ahead of the original schedule.
The bridge had closed to all traffic at 7 post-meridiem on August 14th.
It was not expected to reopen until 5 ante-meridiem on Monday, August 18th.
Lori Caron-Silvera, the executive director of the Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority, attributed the early completion to a great crew and favorable weather.
The project involved resurfacing the road from curb to curb.
This included milling the existing road surface and applying a smooth overlay.
Silvera also expressed gratitude to officials in Bristol and Portsmouth.
These two towns are connected by the Mount Hope Bridge.
Their cooperation was instrumental in the project's success.
The resurfacing project significantly improved the bridge's driving surface.
The early reopening minimized disruption to commuters and residents.
The Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority is committed to maintaining safe and efficient transportation infrastructure.
This project demonstrates their dedication to timely and effective project completion.
The Mount Hope Bridge is a vital link between the communities it serves.
President Trump briefed European leaders and President Zelensky after his meeting with the Russian president in Alaska.
Leaders welcomed President Trump's efforts to stop the violence in Ukraine and achieve lasting peace.
The next step involves further talks, including President Zelensky.
European leaders are prepared to work towards a trilateral summit with Presidents Trump and Zelensky.
Ukraine must have strong security guarantees to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity.
The United States is prepared to offer security guarantees to Ukraine.
No restrictions should be imposed on Ukraine's armed forces or its partnerships.
Russia should not have veto power over Ukraine's path to the European Union and North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Ukraine will make its own decisions regarding its territory.
International borders should not be altered by force.
Continued support will be provided to Ukraine.
Efforts will be increased to ensure Ukraine remains strong and a just peace is achieved.
Pressure will be maintained on Russia as long as the conflict in Ukraine persists.
Sanctions and economic measures will be strengthened to impact Russia's war economy.
Ukraine has unwavering support in working towards peace that protects its security interests.
This peace must also safeguard Europe's vital security interests.
Artificial intelligence optimism is driving Standard & Poor's 500 price-to-book ratio to record levels, even surpassing dot-com era levels.
These high valuations reflect the market expectations for artificial intelligence-driven earnings growth.
While this high ratio is noteworthy, it does not necessarily mean that stocks are currently in a bubble.
Many stock market bulls are convinced of the transformative power of artificial intelligence.
They often dismiss comparisons to the dot-com bubble of 25 years ago.
Their reasoning is that real profits are already appearing, unlike the early internet boom.
Bank of America strategist Michael Hartnett has a message for these investors. It had better be different this time.
Hartnett, known for his skepticism of the recent market bull run, shared a chart.
This chart highlights investor optimism about the impact of artificial intelligence.
It shows the Standard & Poor's 500 price-to-book ratio at a record high of 5.3.
This surpasses the 5.1 level seen in March of 2000 at the peak of the dot-com bubble.
Other valuation measures also indicate market froth compared to historical data.
For example, the Standard & Poor's 500 12-month forward price-to-earnings ratio is also near record highs.
The Shiller cyclically adjusted price-to-earnings ratio shows similar levels to 1929, 2000, and 2021.
High valuations do reflect high expectations for future earnings, which could be overly optimistic.
So far, many artificial intelligence firms have consistently exceeded earnings expectations.
The White House has authorized the use of military force against drug cartels, potentially violating the sovereignty of Mexico.
Sources indicate President Trump is serious about attacking Mexico unless the nation meets his demands.
A senior administration official stated, "This is not a negotiating tactic, but a genuine threat of military action."
President Trump and Republican leaders have previously supported the idea of invading Mexico.
They cite rising fentanyl rates and drug trafficking as justification for military intervention.
In January, President Trump acknowledged the possibility of sending United States Special Operations Forces across the border.
Mexico is facing a complex situation regarding compliance with President Trump's agenda.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum initially rejected the deployment of United States troops across the border.
However, Mexico later extradited 26 alleged cartel members to the United States.
Attorney General Pam Bondi described these extraditions as historic efforts to dismantle cartels.
Cartel monitors suggest Mexico is attempting to avoid United States military intervention.
They also believe Mexico aims to preserve ongoing trade negotiations with the United States.
A final trade deal between Mexico and the Trump administration has not yet been reached.
President Trump and President Sheinbaum recently postponed potential tariffs.
Negotiating a new trade agreement typically takes United States officials approximately 18 months.
This involves extensive reviews of trade history, product analysis, and examination of import and export laws.
The coming decade may present economic challenges for investors and retirement savers.
These challenges include declining population growth, geopolitical tensions, increasing trade tensions, and mounting national debt.
These issues are described as megatrends that are constantly interacting and impacting the economic landscape.
Key megatrends include technology and its impact on work and economic growth.
Government deficits and debt levels also play a significant role, affecting bond markets, economic growth, and inflation.
Globalization, encompassing trade dynamics and the exchange of ideas, is another important megatrend.
Finally, demographics, including population growth, immigration, and the aging of society, are crucial factors.
Even with advancements in artificial intelligence, technology may not be enough to overcome these economic headwinds.
To build a resilient retirement portfolio, individuals should focus on controllable aspects of their finances.
This includes establishing clear and realistic investment goals based on time horizon and risk tolerance.
Sticking to a research-based investment plan through various market conditions is crucial.
It is important to manage emotions and avoid impulsive investment decisions.
Maximizing savings and maintaining market investments is vital for long-term growth.
The benefits of compounding and staying invested outweigh concerns about interest rate and market fluctuations.
Diversifying investments across different asset classes reduces portfolio risk.
Minimizing costs and fees is essential for maximizing investment returns.
Honda is reviving the Acura RSX, a nameplate discontinued almost 2 decades ago, but with a surprising twist.
Instead of the sporty coupe from the early 2000s, the RSX will return as an all-electric crossover.
This might disappoint some, but Acura already offers a sporty coupe with the recently updated Integra.
The RSX crossover prototype, revealed at Monterey Car Week, incorporates sporty coupe design elements, especially in the front.
Acura promises thrilling performance with standard dual-motor all-wheel drive.
It also features a sport-tuned double wishbone front suspension and Brembo brakes.
Strategic battery placement aims to provide a lower center of gravity than expected in a crossover.
Acura claims this will create a fun and engaging driving experience, similar to the Mustang Mach-E and Hyundai Ioniq 5N.
Unlike the Honda Prologue and Acura ZDX, the RSX is engineered entirely in-house by Honda.
It will be one of the first models on Honda's new proprietary electric vehicle platform.
The RSX will also be the first assembled at the Honda Electric Vehicle Hub in Marysville, Ohio.
Honda has high hopes for the RSX, equipping it with the ASIMO operating system.
This system will enable automated driving, advanced driver assistance systems, machine learning, and over-the-air updates.
The RSX will also support vehicle-to-load charging, acting as a portable generator for homes and devices.
Kansas Department of Agriculture inspectors recently uncovered numerous violations at Wichita area restaurants, hotels, and other businesses.
These violations included issues with old meats and medications, bugs on food, and rodent feces.
Inspectors also found problems with employees touching food with bare hands, dented cans, and rotting produce.
Roaches, water problems, and other concerns were also cited during the inspections.
The Wichita Eagle maintains a searchable database of failed inspections from Sedgwick County.
13 establishments were found non-compliant with state regulations between August 3rd and 9th.
However, over 60 other locations were deemed compliant with food safety and lodging rules.
These inspections aim to protect the public from foodborne illnesses and other health risks.
Businesses can fail inspections due to a high number of problems, specific types of violations, or issues requiring immediate attention.
While violations are common, businesses often correct them on the spot.
Examples of immediately addressable issues include serving old food, employee mishandling of ingredients, and dirty kitchens.
Pest infestations, power outages, and plumbing problems, however, require more time to resolve.
In rare cases, businesses may face temporary closure due to severe violations.
Failed inspections typically result in a reinspection within 10 days.
The bronze statue of Brighty the Burro, a Grand Canyon mascot, was recovered from the wildfire rubble.
The statue, which weighs 600 pounds, was found with an ear missing and its front legs detached.
Brighty was transported from the North Rim to the South Rim for assessment and potential restoration.
The statue will be temporarily housed in the Grand Canyon National Park Museum collection.
Park officials and conservation experts will determine if Brighty can be restored or if a new statue is needed.
Social media users have expressed support for restoring the burrow to its former glory.
Many people have fond memories of taking pictures with the statue and reading the children's book about Brighty.
Park spokesperson Joelle Baird stated that Brighty is a special piece of history for many people.
The statue represents a real burro that lived over a century ago and freely roamed the canyon.
The burro would help haul water in exchange for pancakes and give children rides.
The first step in the restoration process is testing the statue for toxic materials.
Depending on the damage assessment, the park may work with a foundry to repair the statue.
The restoration of Brighty is a small but important part of a larger, years-long restoration effort on the North Rim.
A specialized team will begin assessing the burned areas for soil stabilization, erosion control, and reseeding.
The Dragon Bravo fire, which started in early July, destroyed the Grand Canyon Lodge and numerous cabins.
The National Park Service has defended its handling of the fire, citing an unexpected and extreme wind shift.
MSNBC host Antonia Hilston discussed President Donald Trump's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Hilston suggested that Trump aides, especially Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, appeared frightened by what transpired.
On MSNBC's The Weekend Primetime, Hilston spoke with former United States Ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul.
They discussed Trump's summit with Putin in Anchorage.
Hilston mentioned reports from the press corps about Leavitt looking ashen after the meeting.
She asked McFaul what he thought this indicated.
McFaul expressed relief at not having attended the Alaska summit.
He compared it to past summits he attended in Helsinki and Geneva.
McFaul believed the summit was a bigger disaster than the administration admitted.
He noted the lack of effort to spin the events positively.
McFaul contrasted this with his experience in the White House.
He described the usual practice of senior administration officials briefing journalists.
Trump was the first United States president in years to welcome Putin onto American soil.
The summit was widely considered a failure.
The anticipated peace deal between Russia and Ukraine did not materialize.
Despite the pomp and circumstance, Trump admitted they did not reach a deal.
Trump said there is no deal until there is a deal.
He planned to contact North Atlantic Treaty Organization, other relevant individuals, and President Zelensky.
Heart disease is a prevalent medical condition affecting over 5% of American adults.
It is the leading cause of death for both men and women in the United States, accounting for 1 in 3 deaths.
As the risk increases with age, focusing on controllable risk factors like diet becomes crucial.
While fruits and vegetables are important, choosing the right protein is also vital for heart health.
Not all protein sources are equal in terms of their impact on heart health.
Cardiologists particularly recommend salmon for individuals over 60 due to its high protein content and rich omega-3 fatty acids.
Salmon is an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, which can increase good cholesterol and lower bad cholesterol.
High levels of bad cholesterol can lead to plaque buildup in arteries, increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke.
Omega-3 fatty acids also have anti-inflammatory properties, which are beneficial as chronic inflammation is linked to serious health problems.
These fatty acids also support healthy blood vessel function, which is essential for oxygen and nutrient transport.
Healthy blood vessels also lower the risk of heart attack, stroke, and peripheral artery disease.
A serving of sockeye salmon provides a significant amount of protein, around 22 grams.
Protein is important for heart health as it helps preserve muscle mass, including the heart muscle itself.
It also supports healthy blood vessels, aids in tissue repair, and helps maintain a healthy weight.
While the dietary guidelines recommend eating seafood twice a week, many Americans do not meet this recommendation.
Cardiologists suggest incorporating 2 servings of omega-3 rich fish, such as salmon, mackerel, or cod, per week.
The Gathering of Nations powwow, known as North America's largest, will have its final event in 2026 after 43 years.
This Albuquerque-based event draws tens of thousands of people to celebrate Indigenous dancers, musicians, and artisans from across the globe.
The organizers, Gathering of Nations Limited, announced the event's conclusion via email and social media, stating simply, "There comes a time."
The 2026 event poster poignantly declares the last dance.
Organizers have not yet elaborated on the reasons behind this decision.
The powwow has been held at the New Mexico Fairgrounds since 2017.
However, the future availability of this venue is uncertain due to potential state redevelopment plans.
Over the years, some Native Americans have criticized the Gathering of Nations for allegedly commercializing Indigenous culture.
Organizers have countered these claims by explaining that the revenue generated covers event expenses.
Large powwows like this one have indeed become increasingly commercialized, featuring prize money for dance and drumming competitions.
This commercial aspect can create a challenge for Native American leaders who strive to differentiate traditional cultural practices from commercial powwows.
Consequently, there has been a growing movement to promote smaller, community-based powwows held within tribal communities.
A highlight of the Gathering of Nations is the Grand Entry, a vibrant procession of dancers spiraling into the arena.
Participants wear elaborate regalia, including jingling bells and feathers, dancing to the beat of rhythmic drums.
The event also features the crowning of Miss Indian World and horse parades.
In these parades, riders and their steeds are evaluated based on the craftsmanship of their beaded adornments and feathered headdresses.
Archaeologists made a surprising discovery of a medieval knight's tomb under an ice cream shop in Gdansk, Poland.
This 13th-century burial site, located in the seaside city, includes a rare carving that likely depicts the knight.
The tomb features a large limestone slab carved with the image of a knight in full chainmail armor.
Such carved slabs are rare in medieval Poland, with only a few featuring images of the deceased.
The tomb was found within the remains of a stronghold used from the 11th to the 14th centuries.
This stronghold included a castle, a church, and a cemetery.
The tombstone is estimated to be from the late 13th or early 14th century.
It is roughly 59 inches long and made of limestone imported from Gotland, Sweden.
The slab depicts a man standing upright in full armor, holding a sword and a shield.
The preservation of the slab is remarkable, with the carving, armor, and shield still well defined despite being buried for centuries.
Upon removing the slab, archaeologists found a well-preserved male skeleton but no grave goods.
Evidence suggests the deceased was of high social standing, possibly a knight or someone with a military role.
While the burial coincides with the rise of the Teutonic Knights, there is no definitive link to the order.
This discovery offers a rare glimpse into the lives and burials of Gdansk's medieval elite.
Researchers are using three-dimensional scanning to document and preserve the unique carving.
Chemical and genetic analysis of the bones will provide further insights into the man's identity and life.
A leaked video seemingly showing Bryan Kohberger in his prison cell is under investigation.
The Idaho Department of Corrections stated the video might be fake or artificially enhanced.
Kohberger was convicted of murdering 4 University of Idaho students.
The video appears to show Kohberger in a white shirt and black pants inside a cell.
He moves across the cell and places an item on a makeshift rack.
The Idaho Department of Correction cannot confirm the video is authentic.
If legitimate, the individuals involved violated policy and will be held accountable.
The Department of Correction reminded staff about appropriate technology and social media use.
Recording and sharing security footage is prohibited and may result in criminal prosecution.
The Ada Sheriff's Office confirmed the video was not recorded at the Ada County Jail.
Kohberger was previously held at the Ada County Jail before his sentencing.
He was later transferred to a maximum security prison near Kuna, Idaho.
Reports indicate Kohberger complained about being taunted by other inmates.
A retired homicide detective stated inmates torment Kohberger through cell vents.
The Idaho Department of Correction acknowledges Kohberger is complaints about taunting.
Kohberger is housed alone in a cell for safety and order.
The United States government is planning to construct a $750 million factory in southern Texas.
This factory will breed billions of sterile flies as part of an effort to prevent flesh-eating maggots from crossing the border from Mexico.
These maggots pose a significant threat to the American cattle industry.
Secretary Brooke Rollins announced that the United States Department of Agriculture aims to produce and release sterile male New World screwworm flies within a year.
The new factory will be located at Moore Air Base outside Edinburgh, Texas, approximately 20 miles from the border.
The United States Department of Agriculture also plans to invest $100 million in technology such as fly traps and lures.
They will also increase border patrols with tick riders on horseback and dogs trained to detect the parasite.
The United States border will remain closed to cattle, horse, and bison imports from Mexico.
This closure will remain in effect until the pest is pushed back south toward Panama, where it had been contained through late last year.
American officials are concerned that if the fly reaches Texas, its flesh-eating maggots could cause billions of dollars in economic losses.
This could also lead to increased retail beef prices and further inflation.
The parasite can also infest wildlife, household pets, and occasionally humans.
Secretary Rollins emphasized that farm security is national security, and that all Americans should be concerned.
Texas and other border and livestock-producing states are on the front lines of this issue.
This pest was a problem for the American cattle industry for decades, until it was largely eradicated in the 1970s.
This was achieved through breeding and releasing sterile male flies.
Monroe expresses concern over the 7.2 million American men in their prime working years who are not employed and not actively seeking employment.
Official data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that 2.2 million men of prime working age were not participating in the labor market as of June 2025.
Monroe also highlights a concerning imbalance in the United States labor force, particularly a shortage of tradespeople.
A 2024 Bipartisan Policy Center survey sheds light on why many men are not participating in the workforce.
The survey revealed that 57% of prime-age men not seeking work cited physical, mental, or behavioral health reasons.
An additional 30% stated they were not working by choice, while 9% cited caregiving responsibilities.
These findings suggest that the assumption of these men being able-bodied may not be entirely accurate.
Improving workplace support, particularly health insurance coverage, could encourage some men to return to work.
Rose Foundation, Monroe or KS, has awarded nearly $12 million in scholarships since 2008 to address the skills gap.
These scholarships support individuals pursuing new skills in sectors facing significant talent shortages.
There are also avenues for passive income for those unable to participate fully in the traditional job market.
Real estate investment has historically been a reliable method for building wealth and securing retirement.
However, traditional real estate investment often requires substantial capital and involves significant responsibilities.
Platforms like First National Realty Partners offer a more accessible approach to commercial real estate investment.
First National Realty Partners provides services to accredited investors, requiring a minimum investment of $50,000.
For those with less capital, Arrived offers real estate investment opportunities starting at $100.
Arrived focuses on residential and vacation rental properties and is backed by prominent investors like Jeff Bezos.
These platforms offer opportunities for individuals to generate passive income from real estate without the burdens of traditional property management.
Many people do not realize that constantly checking email can significantly increase blood pressure.
Stress management is crucial for managing blood pressure, and email is a common, often overlooked stressor.
61% of people check email on their phones, making it accessible at all times.
This constant accessibility leads to a near-continuous cycle of checking email, from morning to night.
Cardiologists explain that this habit can keep the body in a fight or flight state.
Each email notification can trigger the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline.
These hormones temporarily increase heart rate and blood pressure.
Over time, this constant stress response can have negative consequences for heart health.
Continuously elevated cortisol levels can increase inflammation, weight gain, and worsen immune response.
Adrenaline can increase blood pressure, make platelets stickier, and constrict arteries.
These factors contribute to an increased risk of heart attacks and coronary artery disease.
One sign of email-induced stress is shallow breathing, which further reduces oxygen intake and keeps the body on high alert.
Checking email before bed can also disrupt sleep, which is essential for healthy blood pressure.
Getting less than 6 hours of sleep can increase heart disease risk by almost 20%.
To reduce email-related stress, experts recommend setting boundaries and designating specific times for checking email.
Turning off notifications can also help break the cycle of compulsive checking.
The Trump administration is reportedly discussing a potential United States government stake in Intel.
Intel has not confirmed this report, but they have expressed commitment to supporting President Trump's efforts to bolster United States technology and manufacturing.
This raises questions about the administration's motivation, considering Intel is currently trailing behind competitors like NVIDIA and Advanced Micro Devices.
President Trump has frequently interacted with NVIDIA Chief Executive Officer Jensen Huang and has seen firsthand what semiconductor leadership entails.
Another question is why Intel would partner with the government during a time when Chief Executive Officer Pat Gelsinger and the board need to focus on reorganizing the company.
It is unlikely that the government would remain a passive minority shareholder.
Intel is considered a crucial part of United States chip manufacturing, and its current struggles are concerning.
The company has experienced declining sales for several years and significant profit losses.
This situation draws comparisons to the government's involvement with General Motors during the auto bailout over a decade ago.
It is unclear why the government would choose to partner with Intel now.
There are concerns about the potential implications of this partnership for future government involvement in private companies.
The United States economy benefits from a strong semiconductor industry, but whether a healthy intel is essential is debatable.
NVIDIA, Advanced Micro Devices, and Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company have become industry leaders, and the United States economy could potentially rely on them.
However, the Trump administration views Intel's survival as a matter of national security.
The administration aims to bring manufacturing and chip production back to the United States.
They have implemented unique agreements, such as revenue sharing with NVIDIA and Advanced Micro Devices, allowing them to sell chips to China in exchange for a portion of the revenue going to the federal government.
Vladimir Putin seemed uncomfortable when faced with questions he had avoided since the invasion of Ukraine.
He was sitting next to Donald Trump in Alaska, in front of a backdrop promoting peace.
Reporters shouted questions about the ceasefire and civilian casualties, catching Putin off guard.
This moment reminded everyone that Putin faces an international criminal court warrant and sanctions.
After the reporters were removed, Putin and Trump began their closed-door talks.
Putin arrived in the United States for the first time in a decade, met by Trump.
Every detail of the meeting, including who exited their aircraft first, was pre-arranged.
Trump greeted Putin warmly, a gesture criticized by United States media.
They shook hands and posed for photos against the Alaskan mountain backdrop.
This meeting was remarkable, given that Western leaders have refused to meet with Putin since the war began.
A flypast of a bomber and fighter jets seemed to surprise Putin.
Reporters questioned Putin about Ukraine, but he indicated he could not hear them.
Putin and Trump then rode together in the presidential limousine, the Beast.
This raised suspicions in United States media due to the unexpected shared ride.
The press conference before the talks marked their first bilateral meeting in 6 years.
Trump was accompanied by Steve Witkoff and Marco Rubio.
The meeting was shortened to 3 hours, half the expected time.
A planned lunch between Putin and Trump was also canceled.
Putin began the press conference, a surprising move noted even by Fox News.
He expressed a desire for the war to end, but blamed Kyiv and European capitals for hindering progress.
Putin acknowledged Trump's claim that the war would not have happened under his presidency.
This provided Trump with the validation he had been seeking.
Google recently issued a major warning to its 1.8 billion Gmail users worldwide about cybersecurity threats related to advancements in artificial intelligence.
This summer, Google warned users about indirect prompt injections, a new form of cybersecurity attack.
This new threat puts individuals, businesses, and governments at risk.
Google explained that indirect prompt injections involve hidden malicious instructions within external data sources like emails or documents.
These instructions can manipulate artificial intelligence to exfiltrate user data or perform other harmful actions.
Unlike direct prompt injections, where attackers directly input malicious commands, indirect injections hide them within seemingly innocuous data.
As more organizations and individuals adopt generative artificial intelligence, this subtle attack becomes increasingly relevant.
Tech expert Scott Polderman explained that the scam involves using Google's own artificial intelligence assistant, Gemini, against itself.
Hackers send an email with a hidden message to Gemini, instructing it to reveal user passwords.
These hidden instructions manipulate Gemini into working against the user.
Polderman highlighted the deceptive nature of this attack, as there is no link to click for the scam to activate.
Instead, Gemini pops up, falsely warning the user of a risk, and then prompts them to enter their login information.
Fortunately, Google is implementing new security measures to protect users from these threats.
These measures include hardening the Gemini model and developing machine learning models to detect malicious instructions.
Google is also implementing system-level safeguards to increase the difficulty and complexity for attackers.
This layered security approach aims to make these attacks easier to identify or require significantly more resources from adversaries.
Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay aware, and join us again for more updates that matter. Until next time.
Thanks for staying informed. See you in the next episode.